We're gonna go ahead and switch on to the NBA and do our top 10 players. Austin had a lot to say about this earlier, so you can go ahead and lead this segment off.
All right, so yeah, to get into our NBA players, again, I think we should probably cut it off at 5, just because, like, for me personally, I came up with 6, and after 6, it's tough because the NBA is really wide open this year. There's a lot of injuries. A lot of the top players are hurt and not playing right now, and then also the teams are a lot more spread out. There's no like super warriors anymore. So for me, for my top 5, I have number 5, Kawhi Leonard. I feel like, he's the defending Finals MVP. He's what people would call the best two-way player in the league. I do think he is still slightly overrated. Might be considered a hot take, but a lot of people say he's the best player in the world, which I just think is insane. Like, no, Kawhi.
I have a question real quick.
All right, what's up?
Is this the top 5 players of this season?
The top 5
Right
players
now
playing right
that
now.
are playing.
So, like, we can't
Steph's
have
not
Steph Curry.
in.
So I'm not.
KD's
So
not in.
KD,
They're
Steph, I
not
have
in.
them out. And
Yeah.
when in my reality, they would be top 5 players, but
Just
they're hurt. Yeah,
Just want to make that clear.
we'll see.
I don't think so.
We'll see. So I had Kawhi at 4. 5 at 4. I'm gonna go with James Harden. He's on pace to potentially average 40 points a game, which is ridiculous, but that is a lot due to D'Antoni and the Rockets literally pandering to him doing that. And defensively, he's better than he used to be. He's no longer an embarrassment on defense, but he's still he's no stalwart by any stretch of the imagination. But at the same time, his play style is great for numbers, but as an overall player, I can't put him over the guys I have in my top 3. Number 3, I have Anthony Davis, the freakish mutant monster that's playing for the Lakers. He's been huge coming in. He's probably the best defensive player in the NBA, in my opinion. He's long, versatile, can guard on the outside. Oh, Mitchell's shaking his head. We'll get to that in a minute.
He's just good to me. He agrees with you. I think Giannis is the best defensive player in the league.
I mean, we can debate that, but Anthony Davis is a superstar. He, at one point in his career, he's still young. I think he's 26, which is insane to think about. I think eventually at one point he will be considered the best player in the league, but right now I have him at 3. For number 2, LeBron James.
You didn't even say it right, bro. That's the worst. He said it. It's LeBron James.
LeBron James. No, LeBron is my number 2. He's averaging more assists than he's ever averaged. He's averaging damn near a triple-double. He's got the Lakers, the best team in the West, arguably the best team in the league. And still, a lot of people have him as their GOAT. I'm not going there, but he's an all-time great. He's playoff proven. He very rarely is on any losing teams. So for me, LeBron this year, he's playing pretty much out of his mind. But number 1 is the Greek Freak. Dude is insane. And the other day, he made 5 threes in a game. And if he starts making threes, you can pretty much cancel Christmas. Ain't nothing you can do to stop that. Stop that freak.
You cancel my Christmas.
But no, yeah, he just continues to get better and better and better. Every year he improves, and he was the MVP last year, and he's better than he was last year. He's the only player on one of the top teams that's not playing with another superstar. He's out there by himself with a bunch of role players. And right now the Bucks look like the best team in the league, and that's because they have the best player in the league, Giannis, the Greek Freak, Antetokounmpo.
Mitch, I want you to go next. Well, my list is going to be kind of underwhelming considering it's the exact same 5. Honestly, I don't think the 5 itself is really debatable. Maybe a couple of people
In their spots.
up or down.
Mm-hmm.
I think those 5 are pretty much it. I agree.
I think mine are different.
Let's go with yours then so we can change it up. Mine are the same. I
That's
think
literally why I passed it to you because I had the same.
I think
top
for the
5.
same reasons, those are my
So-
5. I'd be
No,
curious what you
I
would
had
change
Kawhi
you have.
and Harden.
I think at 5, I have Dame at 5.
Oh shit! Who
I have-
over who? Wait a
Let-
minute.
Let me
Oh,
Wait,
hell
go through
no.
your 5 right now. Go through your 5 right now.
let me finish. I gave y'all a chance. I'll give me one.
Go through your
I
5. Right
get-
I'm really interested
The reason
to
why I
see
have
who
Dame
got
at
left
5,
off.
Dame
I
is
already know who's gonna
Valley
be
Noise, baby.
Dame.
Subscribe.
4, I got Kawhi.
I know where this is going.
3, I got AD, Giannis, and LeBron.
Okay, so here's my thing. So obviously you left Harden out.
I left Harden out.
What does Dame do better than Harden? Because your biggest
Defense.
argument against Harden is defense, and
Yeah,
Dame's
he's
not like an all-level
He's
defender.
not all level. Is it better than him?
Nah.
I
Yeah.
think
He
Dame's
might be
defense.
he might be
I think-
better, but it's still like it's honestly
Harden's
James
it's not
Harden
really a
to me-
debatable
to me-
topic to me. Like
to
it's not
me,
that big
James
of a
Harden
difference.
to me, he has the ability to shoot a team out of a game. So yeah, he might score 50. I mean, but he will shoot the team out the game. I've seen it happen 2 years in a row in the playoffs. Dame has willed the Portlands to us. The conference finals almost. The Trailblazers.
Portland's.
Look, Dame has willed the Portland Trailblazers to 2 conference finals appearances. He does more than James Harden and does it like the healthy ways. I mean, like Russell Westbrook. That's like kind of the vice I think he has on the Rockets, as Russ had when he was on the Thunder. He kind of limits them to how they play basketball
See,
But his numbers,
Okay.
like his shooting numbers, are still fine though. Like he has.
for now.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the playoffs, what's gonna happen? Yeah, Dame doesn't win because he's playing against he's by himself. McCollum disappeared after the playoffs. Where,
I mean,
where does he go?
the only time
McCollum willed them in the semis.
in the last couple of years,
Versus
the only,
the Nuggets.
Harden only
McCollum-
lost to like the
McCollum went
best
crazy
team
versus
of
the
all
Nuggets.
time though.
and they
He
lost
should've- last year. He should have won when they got
and they
people
lost
got hurt.
because of Harden. Is my point. The Blazers didn't.
Their
lose
team missed like
because of-
27 straight threes.
And I think
How was
and
that
I
Harden's
wouldn't be
fault?
surprised if 13 of them was from Harden.
Okay, so we're just throwing,
See, all
just
right.
throwing up
All right,
shit.
all right.
Look.
See, I
First off, this is my list, brother. Okay, this is my list.
James
keep your
Harden
damn list. This is
is
my
averaging
list.
almost 40 points a game.
all right. No.
Care nothing about
Okay,
it.
here's the thing. I actually agree with both of you in this argument. I do think that Harden is a better basketball talent than Dame, but I would rather have Dame leading my team. And I think that's kind of the point that Rashawn was getting at, is that that Dame is better for your basketball team. He's going to give you more quality basketball than Harden is. He's a better leader in the locker room. He does things better on the court as far as he is willing to give up the rock if he's not hot.
And the thing is, when
Harden's not giving up the rock to anybody.
say that Harden is off, now what do you do? Now how do you win the basketball game?
Give it to
If
Russell
if
Westbrook.
Dame is off, he can play the assist game too. He's great at that, facilitator.
He's not better at passing than Harden is, or facilitating.
It's really not close.
He's just a better leader, honestly.
I think he is. Though. I
He's just
think
a better
I think he is.
I mean, if you want to bring stats into it,
I don't
Harden
think
averages
Harden's a-
way
I
more
don't-
assists
Shut
than
down
Dame.
his whole arc. Like goddamn. Like goddamn.
Listen. I'm gonna go back to this then. It's my list, brother. I'm taking Dame over Harden. Harden he just scores a lot of points. Like that's good for basketball because it's all about, right? But I feel like as a basketball player, I'm taking Dame.
What's your list, Jesus? You said you got a different top
Wait,
five.
hold on. What's the rest of your list, bro? Or your 3,
I
2,
told
1.
you.
Oh, you did? Okay, bet. All right, my list. I'm gonna start off at number 5. It's Luka Doncic.
Excuse me?
Hey, I can defend it better than you can.
Excuse
defend
me,
Dame.
brother?
I had Luka.
That's
at
an
six.
Luka's
interesting- I have
better
Luka-
than Dame.
See,
Right
I have
now,
Luka over Dame in my top 10 though.
So
That's
do
the
I.
thing, too.
See, but look, you guys would have had Kawhi at number 5, something like
Yeah.
that? See, the way I defend that is Luka has way better numbers. And, well, it's not way better, but he has better numbers like in each category, points, rebounds, and assists. And I think we could all agree that the Clippers are like one of the most loaded rosters in the NBA. And they're only 3 games better than Dallas. And Dallas doesn't really have that like great roster like
A
the
lot
Clippers
of
do.
that is due to load management, though.
True, that's very true. How many games has Kawhi missed so far?
Too fucking many. That's how many he's missed.
Well,
It's not an
well,
actual
that's-
stat.
well,
That's,
We're
a,
gonna go ahead
that's
and
another
check that later
topic.
on.
Hopefully, we can get to is load management.
All right. Well, the best ability is availability, man. Luka Doncic plays. I don't want to hear it. So that's why I have Luka over Kawhi. And then number 4, I have James Harden. you can't not have him there just because he's averaging 38,
I do.
39, something like that.
I do.
That's insane. 3, I'm going Anthony Davis, then LeBron, and then Giannis because Giannis is the best player. I think LeBron in his prime is obviously better, but he doesn't really play defense as well as Giannis is right now. And so Giannis is the most complete player right now.
As far as my top 5 goes, it was pretty much the same as Austin's. At 5, I had Harden, and then 4 Kawhi, 3 AD, 2 LeBron, and 1 Giannis. Actually, kind of surprised that there's no bronze sexuals on this cast other than
He
other
stole.
than Rashawn.
You steal my saying
Honestly, I don't
and
even
try
like
to
it.
pass it over
But,
as yours.
That's crazy because there's no documentation of you saying that once. On
Oh, we have it on tape.
where?
We can bring him out. We
Bring
can
it
bring
up.
it. We could bring out the closet
That's what
tapes.
I thought. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But I think that it's actually 4 of our 5 lists had Giannis as 1. I think that's just indicative that the torch has been tossed. The torch, like of being the
Not-
best in the
not the
league.
salad
What is wrong with you?
Ain't nothing being tossed over here.
But if y'all, I think the only element of Giannis's game that he's missing is a 3-point shot. But in this month, he shot over 40% from 3. He just hit 5 threes against the Lakers in their last matchup. Mitch has the stat. He sent it to me. He's this month. He sent it to me.
Man said, Mitch got it. Look, ask him.
He sent it to
Why
me,
you get so
bro.
scared, dude?
Austin gave me a crazy look while I was saying something
No,
crazy.
no. The reason I gave him a crazy look is because, hey,
Look at that. Look at
Hey.
45.7% from 3. 21 to 46 in
hey,
December.
check this out. If Giannis is shooting 40% from 3 for the rest of the season, hell, ain't nobody beating them. What the hell? What the fuck?
No.
If
Giannis
Giannis
is the
shoots
GOAT.
40% from 3, he will go down as a top 5 player ever.
Listen, even if he shoots 40% from 3 for the rest of the year, there should not be in Lakers in 7. I don't think so.
This is okay. I think we all got our 5 in, right?
We all got our 5.
Yeah, we all got our 5.
Okay.
Someone had Dame in their 5 though. I don't know why.
So, no disrespect to Dame. Look, check it out.
1 out of 5.
So right now we're gonna go ahead and do our top 5 NBA teams, starting with an Eastern Conference. Everyone just go ahead and start from 5. I'm gonna go Austin.
We're gonna do by conference, or we want to do overall?
Overall,
Are
for
we doing
sure.
overall?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just do overall.
That's
Nah,
10
okay,
teams,
that's
bro.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Let's do
That's
overall.
fair. So overall,
We'll be
I
going
guess.
on forever.
Yeah.
So you want me to start? All right. For me, my top 5 teams at 5 right now, I have the Sixers. They have, I feel like they have the most talented roster in the East. They're the most talented roster in the East. Hey, well, I mean, you can pull up the standings all you want. I'm talking about, like, who do you have faith in going to win the championship?
They're the 6th seed right now, brother.
All right. So who,
In the East.
In the East.
was it not you in our last podcast who
The
predicted
weak-ass
the
East.
Sixers would win the East, Jesus? Speak on it. We have
I
the
remember
tapes.
that. I
We
remember
have
that.
the tapes.
There's no way I
We have the
I
tapes.
I remember that.
We have the tapes.
I thought I picked the Boston Celtics or something.
The
like that.
hell no. You picked the Sixers.
Well, I know I didn't pick the Bucks. The Bucks suck. No, this was
I took his mic, bro. Okay.
I have
We're
it. No,
okay.
hold on. Let me finish now. I got. All right. So the Sixers are at 5. I feel like in the playoffs they're more equipped to go deeper than the other teams in the East. Less maybe the Bucks. They gotta figure out what they're doing. Ben Simmons has got to be more aggressive. They have to focus more on getting Joel down in the paint and stop shooting so many goddamn threes. But I feel like I do have faith in them. Coming into the playoffs, they'll be the team in the East that'll make deeper runs than teams below them. At 4, I have the Rockets. I feel like they are set up to have really good regular season success, and then in the playoffs they'll make a run until times get tough, and then they'll get exposed because that's what they always do. But just for right now, the Rockets I have the. And like the way I structure my top 5 while everybody's around here laughing looking at the standings is I structure it based off the teams who I have the most confidence in making playoff runs.
That's fair.
So that's why I have the Sixers at 5, Rockets at 4. At 3, I have the Clippers. Top to bottom, I think they have probably the best 10-man deep roster in the league. They're filled with two-way players all over the place. They're really good defensively, really good with switches. I just feel like their star power isn't as high as the teams I have above them. At 2, right now I have the Lakers. Granted, I will pick the Lakers to win the finals, but literally just because we
just
just
lost
saw
to the
them play the Bucks, and the Bucks pretty much dog walked in the whole game. Like that's why I'm just gonna respect and have the Lakers at 2 right now. But I do feel like when times get tough, they will be the team that wins the ring this year. And number 1, I got the Bucks. They got the best record in the league. They got the best player in the league. They're on fire right now. And if Giannis gets a consistent 3, they're unstoppable.
I want to hear Jesus' top 5 next, since he's the one that's been laughing at Austin's. I'm curious on this one.
You guys are gonna find out that Mitch and Austin, they be they be on each other. I'm just saying, bro. But See, honestly, I'm gonna start by 1, and I'm gonna work my way to 5 because I'm looking at standings right now.
So we're basing this off of
Jesus is
standings
basing
that
his
are-
list off standings, not off of watching any games.
Okay, I'm all right, bro. this man, all right, bro. All right, I'm gonna go with the Lakers number 1. We're the best team in the NBA. Fuck what anybody thinks. We have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Danny Green.
North Carolina Tar Heel, Danny Green.
You're not beating that. Number 2, this is where it gets hard. I'm gonna go.
It really doesn't.
I'm gonna go with the Clippers at number 2.
The Clippers over the Bucks.
Yes, definitely. The what? I don't care about that. This is my list, right? This is my list. All right. Yeah, I'm going the Clippers number 2. The roster's loaded. Yeah, they're the best. They're the second best team in the NBA. That's all I'm gonna say. 3. I guess I'll go with the Bucks.
I guess.
I just know I don't believe in their team, bro. Like I think they lost Mirčić and they lost Malcolm Brogdon, and I think that's gonna hurt when it like really comes down to basketball, playoff basketball. Those are 2 huge players, bro. Great role players. Number 4. Oh man. Ooh, this is tough. I'm gonna go with the Celtics. I think the Celtics are pretty good, but I get scared about Kemba not like performing every night because if they don't, I mean I like Jason Tatum, but I don't know. I'm
Not
just
it.
sold on it, but they're gonna be my number 4 team. Number 5. Oh man, between Houston, Denver, and Philadelphia, that's tough.
It's really not.
I'm gonna go with Philadelphia.
So hold on.
They have
Let
Joel
me get something
Embiid
straight.
and Ben Simmons.
I had the Sixers at 5, and Jesus about passed out from laughter. And Jesus has the Sixers at 5.
Bro, what?
I did dig in deeper. Honestly, I wanted to pick Denver. I like their team, bro.
I was
They have a
gonna
lot-
pick Denver as my sleeper pick. Everyone's sleeping on Denver. Like they're
Bro.
still a great team
They're
this
stacked,
year.
bro. And Jokic is gonna like turn it on
Mhm.
once it gets serious.
When he loses weight, maybe.
Facts,
All right, I'm
facts.
head into my top 5. I actually have Denver at my 10. Based
10?
off
Whoa.
right now in the NBA,
damn.
they're 5-5 in the last 10 games.
I have them at 8, actually. So it's not
They're not playing their best basketball at the moment, and they're gonna play the Lakers tonight and lose again. So, but for my top 5, I had the Celtics at 5.
Of course, because you're biased.
Of
Okay.
course, because you're bro. Okay, stop talking. Thank you. And then at 4, I have the Clippers, mainly just because they just lost to the Rockets. And then at 3, I have the Rockets. 2, I have the Lakers. 1, I have the Bucks. Obviously, this is at the current status of the NBA, not what I predict going forward. So as of right now, these are the top 5 teams in the NBA. Without it, I don't even think it's really arguable. The Mavs are my 6, and the Celtics just beat the Mavs. So as far as matchups from who's played at this time in the NBA, this is the top 5 teams, and I don't think you can really argue it.
Well, we all just did. And we're going to continue to do it.
Only Mitch can argue it, bro.
Go
Who's
ahead,
your top
Mitch.
5? You got
All
the
right,
Blazers?
Mitch.
Sean got a top 5.
Shut it down, Mitch.
All right. Well, I'll go 1 through 5 because I think I'm just gonna change it up. I got Bucks at 1. Only like Austin said, just because they beat. If we're going off right now, then they're better than the Lakers. They just beat them, and both teams were pretty much at full
Pretty
strength.
convincing win.
So, I'm in the playoffs. I'm not taking the Bucks over the Lakers. If that's what you're
I
wondering.
thought that's what we were talking about. But
We're talking
the
about
best
right now.
teams like that who we trust though at the end. That's what he said, right?
I mean, that's how I interpreted it.
Well, that's how I did too. That's why the Bucks 3.
3?
Bucks are gonna be in the finals, bro.
Yeah, Bucks are
Well,
making the finals.
he had 2 West teams, so he.
That's true.
I'll bet money on it.
That they won't make the
Oh, wow.
finals.
Wait, talking about you
Who
have
are they
them as
gonna
a-
lose to?
You have them as the number 1 team in the East.
Yeah, who's
But you're saying that they're not gonna be the team that goes out of the East. All right, just
nobody in the East who you trust over Giannis.
Facts.
I trust Giannis. Obviously, he's the best player in the NBA. But that team, I don't trust that.
Okay.
I feel like they had a better team last year.
I understand where you're
I
coming from.
agree, but Giannis is better this year than he was
would
last
you,
year.
so would you agree that the East is better?
No, I don't think
the
it
East
is.
better than this year.
I think it's
the
deeper.
Raptors are
It's
down.
deeper.
Though.
It's
the Raptors
deeper.
are
That's
not
not
as
why.
why.
They're deeper though.
Nobody has like the star power to fight.
But my question to you,
Fight.
Jesus, is who is gonna beat The
Or James
Bucks
Harden.
in a 7-game series. The Celtics, the Sixers, the Heat. Like, fuck.
I'm not sure right now, but it's gonna happen. Like, I just don't see them making the finals, man. Like I don't. The roster makeup isn't unless they pick up like if they trade for like a JJ Redick or something. All right, you can sign me up on the Bucks, but they need a better role player. They like somebody like a go-to bench guy or something or a shooter or something.
I mean, they got Chris Middleton.
Tough.
That's
Tough.
a pretty
They had him
pretty
last year.
I-
But I meant to like replace Brogdon and
right.
Nurkic.
But I'm just saying, I agree they don't have as good of a team as last year. But Giannis being better is a lot more important than them having Brogdon.
It might overshadow
Giannis being able to, at least in recent games, being able to shoot is more important than them having Brogdon.
I just want to say that Giannis scored 18 points tonight, and the Bucks won by 30. Well, 28.
Shit.
They had 1, 2, 3. They had 6 players scoring double figures. Giannis wasn't even the leading scorer. Wesley Matthews was the leading scorer. Wesley Matthews had 19. Brooke Lopez had 17. Middleton had 12. Robin Lopez had 13. George Hill had 17.
Okay.
But I don't think they I don't think they necessarily need a great supporting cast because nobody in the East necessarily has that.
Can we let
deep
Mitch
of a
finish his
roster.
top 5, man? Go ahead, Mitch.
Clippers I got at 3. I don't think that's really much of a debate. I think they're a top 3 team. Number 4, I have Rockets, and then number 5, my 5th pick was not based on right now. It's just based on when we get into the playoffs. So my list is a little bit different. I'm picking the Mavs number 5, and it's a little bit different than you guys. But when Luka's healthy, I'm picking the Mavs. So at least right now they're not as high in the standings, but literally 2 games separates the 2 through 5 seed in the
Facts.
West. So like that's not really that much. But I think Porzingis is gonna get better, and I think Luka's just playing at an MVP type of level. That I think that puts the Mavs for me over a team like the Celtics, and even the Sixers right now. I'm not a big believer in the Sixers right now.
I mean, I feel where you're coming from. I think Luka and KP is an up-and-coming duo. That's going to be a damn good duo. But neither one of them have ever played in the playoffs, so that's why I don't really
True.
have a lot of confidence in them when it comes down to it. And I mean, and to be honest, right now, like I don't really put a whole lot of stock into the standings when we're sitting here before Christmas.
No. You already.
Eric's talking about how the Celtics just beat the Mavs recently.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, are you Eric now? Are you talking for
I
him?
said he, you fucking idiot.
Are you talking for him?
It's just funny because you guys laughed. Like we
I
pretty
told you.
we pretty much have the same top 5. Like we have the Rockets and Clippers switched. Who's your 6? Is your Celtics the 6?
No, I have the Heat 6.
Oh, the Heat suck, though, but whatever.
You sleep on the Heat, bro.
No,
So
the Heat are actually really good. They're my 7, I believe.
I think I had
But,
the Heat at
um,
7 too.
But the reason I have the Celtics at my 5 and the Mavs at my 6, mainly because they recently played and the Celtics won. I actually think the Celtics are 2-0 versus the Mavs this year.
I'll
not
give you that they
entirely-
might be better right now, but like I
But-
said, my 5th pick for the Mavs was based off just how I think they're gonna do long term. So
Okay,
I'll give you that point for sure.
All right, so we got everyone's top 5.
Yeah, the Celtics are
We
2-0.
didn't get Rashawn's top
Yeah, the
five.
Celtics are 2-0 versus Mavs this year. I just wanted to throw that out there.
What?
We're gonna
Get your top 5 out there.
Look, I don't have a top 5.
All right,
you
so we're gonna move on to our next
Fair.
NBA topic, which is a hot topic that we wanted to talk about, get out there, and that's load management. So I just want to go around the table and I just want to ask everybody. So we'll start with Mitch this time. We'll go around. Mitch, what are your feelings about load management in the NBA?
I think for me, we talked a little bit yesterday about it. For me, specifically for someone like Kawhi, I don't think it's a big deal if you want to rest when you're mid-season, when you're like 30, 40 games in. I don't see the problem with it at all. But if you're doing it in the beginning of the season, I think then in that sense, then you should be playing. If you're 5 games in and you need to rest, I think you should be playing. As far as for the fans and stuff, I'm not really. If I'm thinking in terms of the team, then the fans don't really matter to me. If I'm in the organization or if I'm trying to build a team, a championship team, then you can't think about the fans and what they might like if you would need to do with the best thing that's for you. So that's my take on load management.
All right, Eric, what's your take on load management?
Well, last year I paid around $1,000 to go to Celtics versus Lakers game, and the reason the price of admission is that high is because you're expecting, the LeBron James, the Kyrie of the world to be playing. And if you pay $1,000 to go to a Clippers game and you see Kawhi in sweats, like that's a travesty. And honestly, that's not fair to the fans. You pay for product, like you pay for what, like the performance you're supposed to see. They upcharge seating and standings based off performances, based off who's on their team. Like they can charge higher for certain seats, and then essentially you're not paying for what.
Listen, they charge that. Part of that why they charge so much is because the people you see at those games. Who goes to Laker games?
Well, I went to a Lakers Celtics game.
Every celebrity
so like
in
that's
damn
pretty much
near
that's
LA,
pretty
right?
much as
Right?
like as expensive as it gets.
I don't see your argument here, Rashawn.
So
But I'm
when,
saying-
when you go to play Lakers, you don't just go see the players. You go to see Jack Nicholson.
Okay, yeah,
if I
but
go to
see-
if I pay
but
for
a
an
Laker
NBA
ga-
game, I go to watch the fucking game. I don't
yeah,
give a
but
fuck
no,
about
no,
the
here's,
crowd.
you
here's,
weird.
no, no, no.
Look.
Here's the thing.
I don't
Lakers
know.
tickets were significantly higher once LeBron's on the roster compared to the year before when LeBron
Who's gonna
wasn't.
come watch LeBron play? Who else?
Everybody
Celebrities.
in the
exactly,
world?
celebrities. So you're not just paying to see LeBron. You're paying to see the other celebrity at the game as well. That's part of the experience.
So you
no?
mean to tell me
Am I wrong?
you pay for NBA, like when you're paying for your NBA tickets, like say you're on thing, you're like, damn, like I might see Floyd Mayweather tonight.
How much?
Like,
How much are? If anyone wants to look, how much tickets are the Milwaukee Bucks tickets? Like it's just a simple home game.
They're not that much, but I'll look.
It's
it up.
And they have
different,
the best player in the world. No.
Because
A lot of that's
It's
just
a
like
it's a
free
market.
crack,
It's a
though.
market.
marketing.
It's a market. It's not. It's
give
in
me
Milwaukee.
for example.
I don't know. The Mavs have expensive tickets. I know that in Dallas.
The Celtics have expensive tickets. It's not like you have.
That's the
Denzel.
you consider the franchise name for that. Like there's
Okay,
Celtics.
but I mean that's
That's
a big
exactly-
part of
that's
Okay, a
exactly
better
what I'm
argument
saying.
was which one you said?
The Mavs. The
Check
Mavs.
the Mavs. That's a better. Well, that's in. I mean, go ahead. To
Check
me,
the-
I'm saying part of it can be location too, like LA. Then you got Boston, and then you got.
Well, I
Texas.
understand, but how do you feel if you're
They-
paying for tickets and then you're watching Pat Connaughton?
Oh,
Hey,
who's-
see, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be really mad if I went to see LeBron and he was resting. But as like wanting to see him. But if I'm like, but for me as a Lakers fan, it's like they gotta do what they gotta do
I don't get
to
like.
win.
How is it your place to get mad at somebody for taking care of their body? If I could have rest days for football for no CTE, I'm taking 2 rest days. I'm taking that, brother.
It's just like I said. Is as far as just strictly for fans, it's a travesty. It's not fair to the fans, but I understand your perspective in terms of like the teams and the players. But if health is that much of a concern, the season shouldn't be 82 games long. If that much of a health is at a risk, it shouldn't be that long. If these players are sitting out games, or at least there should be some type of change to the season if load management is so popular, because the fans shouldn't be expecting to see the best players in the world and then they see their backups. Like at that point, I'll go pay $20 for a G League game.
Check the list, brothers. Check the injury list, brother.
All right,
can't pay
so
for
just
tickets the
like-
day before the
I mean,
game.
Yeah, you have to get
You
those.
have to
tickets
pay them
in
like
advance.
months in
But
advance.
to me, it's like
Hear
it's
nothing
not
about
the fans aren't even the biggest disappointments to me. Like, yeah, as the fans, I feel like I don't care what you say. Like, if you're an NBA player, you have an obligation to play the games if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, yeah, don't play. I completely understand that. But if you're completely healthy and you're just scheduling games to miss, i.e., Kawhi Leonard just picks and chooses when he plays, like, no, that is to be honest with you, to me, it feels like it's a violation of your contract. Like, I'd have to look into that one. But for me, it's not even the fans that matter the most. It's the league. The league. This is a problem for the league. Ratings are down over 20% this year. And if I had to bet, I would say load management is a huge part of that. And Adam Silver needs to step up and not just allow teams to sit players just because they don't feel like playing. Like, you're making $20, $30 million to fucking play basketball. Like, if you're healthy, play. If you're hurt, sit. I don't want people playing when they're hurt. But if you are completely healthy and you're sitting, like, I understand this is what's best for the team. So, like, I'm not mad at the Clippers for load management. I'm not mad at Kawhi. Like, they're looking out